Right, the star. Yeah, so this is the resource usage. I guess the star is meant to be unconstrained, but I think unconstrained had problems, right? Like 0 or 1 was okay, but unconstrained was where the issue came up. Where does he talk about this? Yeah, inadmissibility of McBride's system. So how does this work? It allowed for term judgment. Jesus, I'm not used to using this thing, that's for sure. Allowed for term judgments of the form this, where this is an arbitrary element of the semi-ring. Right, so this semi-ring is a problem. And I think the problem is this unrestricted element. Right, we need to do the addition of the two usages. Right, and we need to split it into like that, which is not possible. Yeah, and the problem here is the omega. So what do you have to do to fix this? Only allowing 0 or 1 on terms. This is something we plan to investigate. So we don't know if sub-usaging is a thing that'll work, but only allowing 0 or 1 on terms. So on types we can use unrestricted, but not 0. You know, I think I might just do 0 or 1. I wonder if maybe so star, the initial intention was that star equals omega. That's not a very good omega, or a very good star for that matter. That was my intention, but maybe it's easier just to leave it out if we're going to have this problem and we have to only have 0, 1 on terms. That's sort of, we might as well just have 0, 1 on types at that point. Well, actually, I'm going to scroll up a bit. I maybe don't quite fully grok what's happening here. Let's scroll up. Okay, so here, ST and U, these are our types. And we can see that this marks a term, this is on a term, 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 on a term. Oh. Let's undo all that. Where's the eraser here? Yeah, cool. Oh, I didn't get everything. So we have pre-types str and pre-terms. So x is an m, so m is a term in this instance. So what are our actual rules? Term judgments have the form... Wait, what is x in this instance? It's just some sort of meta variable? Right, where sigma equals 0 or 1. So this is when m is a preterm and s is a pretype. Yeah, I guess in these cases up here, x is just some sort of meta variable. It's not really... It's only when you actually construct a term that the problem appears, I guess. Okay, what do we have here? Right, so what we're saying is that if we have an x like that, which can be used like this, and an m like that, then we can introduce a function. Yeah, so we have a variable which produces the m. Which is a function that can be used sigma times. So we're splitting up the sigma pi into the sigma part and the pi part. And this is application. So if we have an m which can be used sigma times, so remember this is in 0 or 1, and then an n which again this is in 0 or 1, then we have, oh, and we have that, okay. Then if we apply mn, where m is a function type, so m is a function, but it still can only be used 0 or once at the term level. Most curious. Yeah, so, okay, so let's go back down to the inadmissibility part. So if we get rid of these, and we come back up there. So we have a function which takes in a single use value and produces an a. And then we have the, and then we're making a judgment that we can make a new function which takes in an x an unlimited number of times and then calls that. And then we're asserting that we can use this function an unlimited number of times. It coerces some function from a type that states it uses its argument once to a type which uses its argument multiple times. And the claim is that this can be constructed. All right, so this is provable, I guess, which is a problem. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this crap. Okay. So, how do we prove this then? Let D1 and D0 stand for uses of the var rule to derive a bunch of shit. This is not laid out very well. This is my problem with this notation with the bar, is that you end up with this shit. Like, who the fuck's meant to read this? Wrong. Not allowed. Do I just drop the star and just do 0, 1? Surely that ends up being a pain in the ass. So do I have an example here? Only allowing 0 or 1 usage on terms. So if we go back here, in this case this is a term. I'm using it twice. Is it a term? It's kind of like a variable rather than a term. All right, let's this term, so f is the term in this case, coerces some function. No, f's not the term. The term is the final thing, this thing. And the claim is that this, okay, can we take a snapshot of this somehow? Is that a thing I can do here? Maybe not. Oh, I have a highlighter instead of an underliner. How about that? That's big brain.